But now that we're done with that, let me tell you that I sure hope everyone enjoyed that. Because as I mentioned before, there was a bit of a project to make certain enhancements to the games, especially the early games, by the guy that made them, because he had a lot of free time between when the penultimate game was released and when the last game was released. So now that I've told you what... I've pretty much told you what's going to happen now. Without further ado, here is...
G-R-U-N-D. ISL Vigorousov.
Something that needs to be resized. There we are. So without further ado, here's Ben Jordan 2 Deluxe Edition. Man, if I had to do it all over again, I would do it all over again, and I shall. So time for more non-stop thrills and excitement.
There's nothing better than a nice hot shower to unwind.
And voice
That
acting.
reminds me, I should go post on the paranormal forums about the skunk ape case. Maybe
Paranormal
I'll get some more
forums.
work when people read about what I did.
So it's more
Or
modernized,
maybe
you
that's
see.
another job calling now. Hello, you've reached Ben Jordan, paranormal investigator. How can I help you? Your husband's gone missing? Well, I'd love to help, but I'm a paranormal investigator. I don't really handle missing persons cases. Oh, I see. Lost galleon of the Salton Sea, you say? And he's been missing for 2 weeks? Okay, I'll take the case. What's your name and where you're located exactly? Great. I'm on my way to Doonesburg, California then. See you soon, Mrs. Roberts.
So the premise is exactly the same. Someone's gone missing and we're going to investigate. In
I
California.
guess what they say about word-of-mouth advertising is true. It really does work.
It
2
really
cases
does
in 1
work.
week isn't going to get any complaints from me.
Isn't that right? You're such a tough guy, Ben. Case 2. Time for more of this. Oh, a bit of an Easter egg, actually. Well, not more of an Easter egg, but something curious.
Hello there,
with
Mrs. Roberts. I'm
bit
Ben
of-
Jordan.
bit of
paranormal
trivia with
investigator.
Oh, Mr. Jordan, I'm so glad you've arrived.
this
Please
case.
excuse the mess, but I've been at my wit's end ever since George disappeared.
It's not a problem. Anyway, that's what I'm here for.
Thank you, Mr. Jordan. I appreciate you taking the time to help me.
So I guess this is as a good time as any to mention that the person who voices Annie Roberts in this case is a lady called Herr Crabbiness, who sometimes does YouTube Let's Plays of the Ben Jordan games. So having gotten that bit of trivia out of the way, let us begin the game proper. And speak to her. And, you know, as with the more sophisticated versions of the game, I believe, we have 2 dialogue options, small talk and questioning. So let's make small talk first. But she's not in the mood for small talk. So let's, of course, begin questioning her.
Can we talk, Mrs. Roberts?
Yes, of course.
What about your husband?
Tell me about your husband.
George is... well, he's very stubborn. Once he gets an idea in his head, there's no way to get it out again. So when he heard about the lost galleon, he became obsessed with it. He drove out to look for it about 2 weeks ago, and he never came back. I'm worried he might have died out there, and I feel terrible that I couldn't talk him out of it.
Not to sound insensitive, but did you call the police?
Of course. After a few days of not hearing from him, I called the police and filed a missing person report, but they've had no luck finding him. Here, you can have a copy of it if it helps any.
So
The
that...
Salton Sea is a big place, Mr. Jordan, and he never told me where exactly he was headed. If only I could figure out where he went, it would make finding him much easier. I called you as a last resort, to be honest. I figured since you deal with the paranormal and the galleon is an old legend, you might have better luck turning something up.
I'll do my best, Mrs. Roberts.
Thank you.
So that got us a copy of the police report for the missing persons thing. So let's keep talking to her, maybe we'll get more stuff.
What do you know about the lost galleon?
Not very much. Only what the old prospector told George. I guess he would be the one to ask.
Old prospector?
That's just what everyone around here calls him. He's a strange old man who hangs around town, usually at the Drunken Scorpion. He's the one who told George about the galleon.
I guess I'll have to put him at the top of my interview list then.
So we'll have to talk to that old guy again. I'm not sure if the bar music is different, but I don't know. I guess we'll find out soon enough. But for now, let's keep talking to this woman.
Tell me about yourself.
Well, I'm a housewife. My husband and I have been married for 5 years now. We don't have any children yet, but we...
Of course.
I'm sorry, Mr. Jordan. I'm getting a bit emotional thinking about George.
It's fine,
Pathos.
Mrs. Roberts. We don't have to talk about it anymore.
Character development. So what about the town?
What can you tell me about Dunesburg?
There isn't much to tell, really. We're a small desert community. The town itself hasn't got any more than 500 people. But if you like the small town atmosphere and don't mind the desert heat, it's not such a bad place.
That's all for now, Mrs. Roberts.
Okay.
So now that we've done that, let's do what we did before and take her bowl, because we instinctively know we'll have much of a
Mrs.
use
Roberts,
for it.
would you mind if I took this bowl for a while?
If it helps you find George, you can take whatever you need.
So yeah, now we have a notepad, a police report, which apparently we had to read. Notice too how the score is less than half that of the previous game because it's more compact. And a silver bowl, which is currently empty. No king. All of these games are completely for free at the Autos website. You just need to punch Ben Jordan into a Google search or whatever engine you have, and you should find them very easy. So now that we've done that, I think we're done inside here. Apparently we are.
Well, I'm gonna get going.
Okay. Come by if you need anything else.
Will do.
So now instead of walking around the town, all the time that is, we get a choice of to go to the mine, Annie's house, or the town square. Which looks different now, has a different perspective. But it has the same shops as before. Medicine Man's Holistic Emporium, a grocery store, not really a supermarket, but with how small it is, but the Drunken Scorpion Bar, and something else called Been There, Done That. These things seem to pop up everywhere. So now, instead of directly insulting and criticizing an actual, really existing, store chain, they made up their own. So let's go into the Medicine Man's place. Oh boy.
Ah, welcome, welcome. I was wondering when you were going to arrive.
Sorry, have we met? I don't think I know you.
Not directly, but you met and helped my brother Ernie. He told me what you did in Florida, and I was the one who recommended your services to the Roberts woman.
Oh yeah, I remember he mentioned you. Thanks for the free advertising, Mr.
I am Alan, the medicine man. Take a look around and let me know if there's anything you need help with.
So it still has that weird subplot of him being the brother of one of the rangers from the first game. Oh boy. And now the spooky skeleton is of a human instead of a whatever it was Yeti thing. A desert Sasquatch, I think it was in the old version. So let's have another look around. It still has those remedies, yes. Now there's something called Kawasaki syndrome and osteoporosis. That's weird. Pancreatitis and tachycardia. Also Zollinger-Ellison syndrome. I don't know if that's real or if that's supposed to be a reference to something. Animal masks, which represents owl, and apparently this mask is scary as hell. Western medicine. Ho ho ho, that's satire. And we still have the mortar and pestle, which we can buy for $5.99, i.e. 6. So let's buy the mortar and pestle, as we will need it.
I'd like to buy this mortar and pestle.
Excellent. Bring it over here. Alrighty, with sales tax, that comes out to $6.48.
There you go.
Thanks for your business. Happy grinding.
Happy grinding indeed. And as we know, we're going to need the stethoscope. Let's take that as well.
Hey, think I could borrow the stethoscope for a while?
Sure, knock yourself out. Or just listen to your heartbeat.
So he just lets us take the stethoscope, us a complete stranger. Well, except for the rumor, I guess, but still. That's awfully trusting of this guy. So now that we've done that, let's have a chat with him. But first, let's make small talk.
Thanks again for the recommendation. Word of mouth is pretty important in this career.
Think nothing of it. I'm happy to help.
So now let's begin asking questions.
I have a few questions for you.
Go on then. Ask them.
What about yourself?
Exactly what does a medicine man do?
Well, now, that's easy. I heal the sick. But I don't use any of the standard techniques of conventional Western medicine. Instead, I rely on natural remedies and spirituality.
No offense, but aren't most of you shaman types Native Americans?
Indeed. I studied with the Hopi in Arizona. It took a lot of convincing to earn their respect, but they allowed me into their tribe and taught me the ways of their healers.
So, like before, he's apparently a witch doctor because he learned from Native Americans. So what's your opinion on spirituality?
How exactly does spirituality fit in with being a medicine man?
It's more important than you might think. Basically, all our healing power comes from communing with the Great Spirit and acting as a bridge between the human and spirit world for the benefit of the community.
So you talk to ghosts? That's pretty cool.
No, it's not quite that simple. I wouldn't expect a lay person like yourself to understand.
Hey,
Layperson.
I'm a paranormal investigator. I understand plenty.
Well, the spirit world is very important in Native American culture.
Wouldn't expect a
Here,
pleb like
I'll
you
lend
to
this
understand.
book. It might help you learn something.
Thanks.
So he gave us a book apparently. Let's see if he's heard about the Lost Galleon.
Have you heard of the Lost Galleon of the Salton Sea?
Yes, I have. In fact, I'm pretty sure most everyone in Doomsburg has.
Do you believe it exists?
No, of course not. I think the story is just a load of crap made up to attract tourists. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not complaining. Tourism is great for business. You just won't find me out there in 120-degree heat digging like a fool.
So, like before, he does not believe in the legend, but he does appreciate its touristic pull. And about the town,
Can you tell me anything about the town?
At the rate we're going, it's either going to become a ghost town or a tourist trap. We don't seem to have many new folks moving in, and tourism is dropping. In fact, before you, the only tourist I remember seeing was some mustachioed Italian fellow who was creeping around a few weeks ago. Anyway, on the other side of the coin, we've got places like that blasted coffee shop opening up all over town. Next thing you know, we'll have a strip mall, and then where will we be?
I'll see you later.
Take care of yourself, laddie.
he even said laddie. Thanks, Sean Connery. So apparently, a creepy Italian guy was here before we were. Wonder if that's a nod to anything. Maybe to that little scene we saw at the end of the first deluxe case. I wonder if we'll learn more about that later. Much later. But anyway. This is the book he gave us. Spirituality, Native American Tribes of the Southwest. Let's live through it. Oh, it's got a laminated bookmark. That's great. Hard, clear plastic. And it has a section about something called a spirit box. A wayward spirit can be lured and captured into a spirit box, forcing it to move on to the next plane, but not before granting a desire of whoever captured it. We need a container appropriate for the spirit, a remnant of the physical form, something that they love in life, and then lure the spirit to go near it. So we'll use that much like we did in the original version, but that won't be until the end of the game. So let's have a look at this statue that's in front of the shop. A Native American wearing a headdress, made of glass tubing, huh? Let's tamper with it. Oops. Accidentally snapped off a coil of glass tubing, which we have now. Apparently, yes we do. A coil of glass tubing. I'm sure we'll be using that very shortly. But for now, let's head into the supermarket. There's actually 2 people here. That's way more lively than it was originally. Must not be from around here, but the clerk probably is. He looks thrilled to be here. As I'm sure we all are. So let's talk to this foreigner-looking guy. Small talk first, of course.
The chips look pretty good, don't they?
Chips? Where?
Right in front of you?
Ooh, right, the crisps. Sometimes I forget about our little language inconsistencies.
So, apparently this guy is from England, or the United Kingdom as it were. And of course he has the language inconsistency, preventing him from understanding his inferior American brethren.
Excuse me.
Yes?
So what can this guy tell us about himself?
So, where are you visiting from?
Am I not obvious?
No, not at all. I just have a sixth sense about these sorts of things.
I'm sure being able to spot tourists comes very much in handy.
You'd be surprised.
Well, yes, you've caught me. I'm visiting from the UK, as I'm sure you were able to guess.
And what brings you to this remote little desert town?
I've been asking myself that very same question. I've been trying to get a taste of the true America, but to be honest, I think I prefer the larger cities. For example, the food selection in this place is rubbish. I'm having a hard time finding anything comparable to the stuff back home.
Bloody hell. So anyway, can't say I don't sympathize with him, though I do like big cities myself, but what about your own food?
Actually, I've never had the chance to travel to the UK. Tell me, is the food over there all they say it is?
You don't know what you're missing if you haven't tried British cuisine. Yeah, I'll give you a free sample of my favourite that I brought along with me.
What is it?
It's called Marmite. Just spread it on a cracker or toast, or you can eat it straight out the container.
Okay, well, thanks.
My pleasure. I hope you enjoy it.
Oh boy.
Rat.
We got a bottle of Marmite. I'm sure we'll be using that for a lot of things.
Have you by chance heard of the Lost Galleon of the Salton Sea?
Is that some sort of attraction, like the theme park in Anaheim?
No, not really. Not for the general public, anyway.
Sorry, haven't heard of it.
Bye-bye.
See ya.
Yep, bye-bye. So let's have a look around the shelves. Malted milk balls, chocolate candy, cereal boxes, and cleaning products, and some produce, ears of corn, and an ice cream freezer, which of course you would expect in the desert, and a bunch of microwavable food. So basically there's not a lot of real food in here, just a bunch of processed everything really, and candy. So of course let's take the one thing here that doesn't look like it was packed into a box. Let's get an ear of corn. An ear of corn and some chocolate balls that apparently we like. And let's talk to the cashier.
This is some nice music they play in here.
It sure
Yeah,
is.
it's great. I've got the CD at home and everything.
Sarcasm or not, we'll never be able to tell, I'm sure.
Excuse me.
How may I help you, sir?
Well, this is kind of awkward. I thought I had some questions for you, but I don't.
That's fine, sir. If you think of any, just let me know.
So this guy's just as thrilled to be here as before. Let's see if we can pay for this corn.
I'd like to buy this corn, please.
Okay.
Oh, and these malted milk balls, too.
Yeah, sure. That'll be $6.85.
There you go.
Thanks for shopping with us today, sir.
So now that we've scored this corn and some milk balls, let's get out of here. And go into the bar. Let's find out if our beloved music is back or not. Oh boy, do you hear that? I think it is.
This is a neat little bar you've got.
Thanks.
Yep,
Glad
it
you
is.
like it. Of course, you could show your appreciation for it even more by buying a drink.
Luckily the conversation kinda drowns it out, so let's try to keep it going.
What do you have?
I'll get something in a minute. First, I wanted to ask you some questions.
Okay, fine. Go ahead.
Drunken Scorpion.
I have to say, the Drunken Scorpion is a pretty unusual name for a bar.
Unusual maybe, but we're as authentic as you can get. With all the theme restaurants and shopping centers popping up all over the place, it's hard to find a bar like this nowadays. I mean, did you see that ridiculous coffee shop next door?
I did notice it, yes.
I tell you, places like that send quiet little towns like this one straight to hell.
What about yourself?
Have you lived in Duisburg long?
Most of my life, actually. I moved here from San Diego when I was 18, and have been bartending ever since. So now that you've heard my life story, how about you get that drink?
What about the Lost Galleon?
Have you ever heard of the Lost Galleon?
Kid, if I had $1 for every time I've heard that ridiculous story, well, let's just say I wouldn't be working here.
So I'm guessing you don't believe it.
Not a word. I mean, come on. How is a Spanish galleon going to end up in the middle of the desert when the ocean is hundreds of miles away?
There's plenty of unexplained phenomena in the world.
That may be, but this one is a bit of a stretch. I'm not the only one who thinks the legend is a bunch of bull. Pretty much everyone around here thinks the same. In fact, aside from you, the only other person to even mention the galleon recently was George Roberts.
Don't worry. Colonel Kurtz, what about George Roberts?
Did you say George Roberts was talking about the galleon?
Yeah, the last time I saw him, in fact. That was about 2 weeks ago, maybe?
Did he say if he was going out to look for it?
Not that I can remember. I'd heard a rumor that he disappeared. Do you think he went out to the Salton Sea?
Yeah, I have good reason to believe he did.
Poor bastard. I hope he didn't get himself into any trouble. Anywho, I wish I could help you out, buddy, but I don't really have any more information than what I've already told you.
That's cool. How about a drink now?
What beers have you got?
Yeastling, Grubweiser, Harlequin, and Old House.
I'll take an Old House.
That'll be $3. You got ID?
Sure do. Here.
Thanks. Here's your beer.
Okay. So we immediately drink the beer and keep the
Thanks
empty
for your
bottle.
help.
Anytime.
So let's quickly grab the matches, which are in place as usual, and talk to this guy.
Excuse me. Hello? Wake up!
Land's sake, Sonny! There's no need to shout. I
Club.
heard you the first time.
His voice.
Sorry.
Well, now that you got me up, what is it you want, boy?
Well, apparently we want to listen to all these things.
Tell me about yourself, old-timer.
Who you calling an old-timer, Sonny? Honestly, you kids today have no respect for your elders.
My apologies, sir. I didn't mean anything by it. But please, tell me about yourself.
Name's Jebediah Sloan. I'm the oldest living resident of Dunesburg. I came out here in 1888 to seek my fortune. I had a short career panhandling before I struck it rich.
You came out here in 1888? Are you telling me you're over 120 years old?
I just so happen to be 136 years old.
That's amazing. What's your secret?
I'll never tell.
I think the secret is an overactive imagination.
Oh, shut it, whippersnapper.
Well, to be fair, You know, standards have changed since the mid 2000s.
Annie Roberts told me you knew her husband, George.
Or at least I'd like to
Yeah,
think
that's
so.
right. He comes in here sometimes. We have a few drinks, share a few stories. How is old Georgie boy doing anyhow? I ain't seen him in a coon's age.
Well, that's the thing.
I
He
mean,
disappeared.
I don't hate
Annie
these
thinks he went
games.
out looking for the lost
There
galleon.
was a lot of effort put into them,
Is that
especially
right?
these.
I guess that would
Later
explain
editions,
why I was
but
acting so excited last time
They
I saw him.
have, you know, undeniably changed since they were first made.
I need you to tell me exactly what it is you told
Oops.
George about the lost galleon.
Oh yeah,
Now
the fourth
you just
game
wait
is
a minute there,
really
feller.
spooky. Wait until we get to that.
I don't know you from Adam. Why should I tell you anything at all?
I'm Ben Jordan, a paranormal investigator. Annie called me personally to go look for George. I need as much information about the galleon as possible. Most importantly, where I can find it.
Boy, if I knew where to find the galleon, do you think I'd be here now? I'll tell you what I know and what I told George, but you have to do me a favor first.
Oh boy,
What kind of favor?
why do we have to get
This
you?
bar don't serve nothing good. All they got is watered down sissy drinks. I want something with real kick to it.
And what might that be?
Moonshine, that's what.
So yes, we need to get the moonshine again.
Where can I get you some moonshine?
Well, you won't be able to just walk in and buy it at no supermarket. You're gonna have to make it yourself, just like in the old days.
Okay. What's in moonshine?
Well, I don't remember. It's been ages since I had it. Ever since last the Radley family up and died.
Who are they?
Local folk. Lived over in that big house near town. They used to brew the best moonshine this side of the Bay Coast, but they never told anyone their recipe.
So, you want me to somehow see if I can figure out what their recipe was and make you some moonshine?
That's the idea. Here, I'll give you my dowsing stick to help you out.
Thanks, but aren't dowsing sticks used to find water?
Not this one, boy. This one will sniff out anything related to booze. I recommend you start using it away from this bar.
Thanks. I'll just get started on this little project then.
Good luck, kid. You're gonna need it.
So yes, we get a dowsing stick for booze, because that works. So last dialogue option.
What can you tell me about this town?
It's a nice little burg. I believe it was founded back in 1846. Of course, back then, it was nothing like it is now. Well, I tell you what, boy, there was a horse trough, and there was a hole in the ground.
Yes, totally different from the thriving metropolis it is today.
Nobody likes a smart-ass kid.
Well, I'll let you get back to your nap.
Thanks, sonny.
So after that momentous foray into the vivid history of the town, let's make our way away from this bar. I don't need to go here yet, I don't think, so let's go back to the map. And now we can visit the Radley house, the abandoned house of the booze-making family. Yep, it's all dilapidated though. And there's a cactus next to it, which looks like a giant hand with 6 fingers. So let's have a look at the front door. It's made of solid oak. Oh, but it's locked. So of course what we do now is take this laminated bookmark and use it to unlock the door. Because that trick always works. So now that we've made it inside, let's have a look at things around here. Creepy looking young man. An old unlit chandelier. Books of journals and family records, old editions of classic literature. a fallen painting and a safe built into the wall. But we can't get into the safe just yet. Or can we? As you might recall, we do have a stethoscope. So let's use that on the safe. We cracked the safe. Apparently we took a year of pre-med, that's great. And that taught us to crack safes. And we found an old scrap of paper and a crowbar. The scrap of paper is another moonshine recipe. It's slightly better stylized now. We still need the 4 ingredients: yeast, cornmeal, malt and sugar. But the method is slightly different because now we need a bathtub, apparently. We need a fire bowl and a pipe. It won't work any other way. Yes, thanks for describing what I just did. And we only have some semblances of the ingredients we will need. But let's find a use for that crowbar we just got. Let's leave this old, dilapidated place and go to the abandoned mine, if we can. That seems like an interesting place, right? So yeah, the mine is boarded shut. Here's an old bathtub right here. What is it doing all the way out here? I don't know, but it sure is convenient. The danger sign. Open up the mine. So this is new. We didn't get to go into the mine in the first original game, but now we can. Apparently we can't travel further into it because there's fallen rocks. But there is a hole here. Looks artificial. There's plants next to the hole, cactuses, and some radio equipment. Maybe this was a secret hideout during World War II. And we get a signal scrambler. Because you would expect to go into a mine and find that. So now we just have a signal scrambler. For old radio signals. So out of this place we go. And let's go back to the map. Oops. Come on, Ben. There we go. And back to downtown. This time we get to visit the coffee shop. If Ben can make his way over there. This time he will not. He will absolutely not walk off of the sidewalk. That's weird. And apparently there's even more people here now. Oh man, this place sure has changed. Just got a speaker pumping in some trendy music. Or at least it's supposed to be trendy. Shelves with coffee shop merchandise, condiments, which is a mess. Something called Fettuccino. A customer having a one-sided phone conversation. Someone who can't make up his mind. And the barista, who looks overly stressed for someone so young. There's also a pastry case. So, of course, let's talk to the barista. Small talk first.
Hey,
Sorry, man, but you're gonna have to wait your turn.
but these guys are taking forever.
I know, but it's company policy. First come, first serve.
So we can't talk to him until these guys leave. So let's talk to this guy, of course.
Hi, I'm Ben Jordan, and...
Not to be rude, but I'm trying to figure out what to order.
Okay. Thanks, Rainn Wilson.
Could we talk for a second?
Well, I'm trying to decide what to order, but okay.
Apparently he will allow us to talk to him.
Maybe I can help you decide what to order.
Sure, I guess that might work.
Maybe we could convinced him
Do you want a hot drink or an iced drink?
to help make up his
Well,
mind.
it is hot outside, so maybe I should get something iced.
There, we've made some progress. Why don't you try...
Oh, but then again, I always get cold when I drink those.
Okay, so something hot then?
Oh, I just don't know. I really wish I could decide.
Okay, we'll just skip that detail for now.
Okay, what about the size?
Maybe figuring out what size you want will help.
Their small is too small, so that's out. I'm not sure if I want the medium or the large. Too much caffeine and I'll just be wired all day. But too little and I'll be falling asleep by 3. Oh, I just don't know.
Okay, moving on then.
What about the flavor?
Do you want plain coffee or one of those flavored ones?
Well, I'm more of a fan of plain coffees. But my sweet tooth has been acting up lately. If I get plain, I'll probably wish I'd gotten flavored. But if I get flavored, I'll wish I'd gotten plain.
There's no pleasing you, is there?
Nope.
Not when they give me so many decisions.
Okay, let's try something else.
Well, that's a better... better representation of modernization, I think. What if you just don't order anything?
Maybe you just shouldn't get any coffee.
No coffee?
Yeah, it's terrible for your health, and repeated consumption can lead to problems down the road.
I guess you're right. Maybe I'll head back to the office for now, and then come back once I figured out what I want. Thanks for your help.
So yeah, the solution was to tell him to just go away. So what about this woman?
Excuse me? Miss? Are you planning on ordering something? Okay. Well, nice talking at you.
Okay, so apparently this woman will not even talk to us, and she will not order. So what can we do about it? Well, luckily we did pick up this signal scrambler. See if we can use it on her, or... oh wait, we're supposed to turn it on. And it has some effect on the cell phone signal. And apparently she storms out, but we don't get to see that. But now we're the only ones here. That's good.
Rough day?
I don't want to talk about it.
This guy is very friendly.
Hello, and welcome to Been There, Done That. What can I get for you today?
Actually, I was wondering if I could ask you some questions.
Yeah, sure, we're pretty slow right now.
So let's strike up a conversation with this guy.
Are you okay? You seem a bit stressed.
Does it show? Yeah, I'm stressed. Did you see the line we had?
Yeah, I did.
We're not normally so busy, but of course it just so happens that when my coworker goes on break, we get a rush. How am I supposed to man the register and make the drinks? I tell you, the labor distribution here sucks.
Yep. Doesn't really help that there's only one person working here.
If you hate your job, why not just quit?
Have you been around town? The only other positions are a bartender, supermarket cashier, and medicine man, and those are all taken.
So then why not leave town?
Oh, the irony. I don't have the money to leave town, especially with a low-paying crap job like this one.
Why not ask for a loan from your parents, then pay them back? That's what I did.
Huh. You know, that just might work. I'll look into it.
So he's taking our advice, but let's see if he knows anything about what we're here for.
You ever hear of the legend of the lost galleon?
Sure, growing up around here, people always told that story. But I don't really believe it's anything more than a story. I mean, I've never been out to the Salton Sea, because I hear there's not much to see out there. What's your interest in it?
Me? Oh, nothing. Just curious about it is all.
So what about the town?
What can you tell me about Dunesburg?
There really isn't much to tell. If you've walked around the town square, you've pretty much seen most of the main points of interest. All the residential areas are to the west of the square, and there's an old abandoned mine to the south of town. Aside from that, there really isn't much around here.
Well, we might need some sugar. What about that?
You seem to be out of sugar over at the condiment bar.
Oh yeah, I've been meaning to go clean that up. And with a rush of customers, I hadn't had a chance.
Could you maybe refill it now? I'm in need of some sugar.
I can't step out from behind the counter until my coworker gets back. I I have some packets of sugar back here, though.
Great, I'll take one of those.
I'm afraid I can't just give it to you. You'll need to order something first.
I should have figured.
So let's order coffee since we have no choice.
Okay, how about you just give me a small latte?
Easy enough. That'll be $3.89.
Kind of pricey for a cup of coffee, wouldn't you say?
Hey man, I just work here. What's your name for the drink?
It's Ben.
Alright, your drink will be ready at the handoff bar.
Sound production.
One small latte for Ben.
Thanks. Can I get a few packets of sugar with that?
Sure, there you go.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
Thanks for your business, sir. Come back soon.
Yay, we got sugar. And it is reflected here. And we also have a coffee cup from Been There, Done That. Totally not a parody of any big coffee chains. So now that we've fulfilled our incredible mission to acquire a little packet of sugar, let's go back outside. And off we go. Back to the map. To the abandoned mine. And you might not have noticed, but we do have all the ingredients we need to make the moonshine. First of all, let's take our mouth balls. Can we eat some of them actually? And put them into the mortar and pestle that's up here. So now we have some powdered malt. That's convenient. Powdered malt and chocolate bits. So let's do the same with the corn. And grind it up. And that has resulted in us getting cornmeal. Cornbread or any other type of baked good. So now that we have powdered malt and cornmeal, as well as sugar and Marmite, because apparently what we needed was, what was it? Yeast, huh? Apparently Marmite is an acceptable substitute for that. Yep, a goop made from yeast extract. So let's toss all that into the bowl. Let me see, we need this, the malt, the cornmeal, and the sugar. So now that we put all that into the bowl, let's use this dowsing stick as firewood, as the fuel for the fire, and attach the glass tube to the bathtub. Just sort of put it there, and it somehow stays in place. I don't know how we managed that, but okay. That's also a very convenient shape, but now that we have that in place, let's put the bowl in place as well. I don't know how we're making sure that those things stay where they need to stay, but now that I believe we're following the diagram, everything looks okay, so let's light up the stick. And we have created our own still. Yup, we're now officially a moonshine runner. Have we collected it yet? We have not. Oh, wait a minute. Is it in the bowl? Yep, it's full of moonshine, so let's put that in the bottle instead. Now the bottle is full of moonshine. So now that we've acquired that, let's return to the old prospector, I believe. He was at the bar, but I don't want to go back in there, so let's just go to Annie's house instead.
Come in. Hello again, Mr. Jordan.
So let's get back the bowl, since we won't be using it anymore.
Here, I brought your bowl back. Thanks for letting me use it.
Not a problem. Thanks for returning it.
And return to the bar. It's time for everyone's favorite soundtrack again.
Well, I'm gonna get going.
Okay. Come by if you need anything else.
Will do.
And see if we can give this moonshine to the old prospector. Oh, well, there he is. So let's quickly take out our moonshine and give it to him.
Here, I got you your moonshine.
Well, slap my behind and call me Sally. You did it, yeah!
I sure did. Here you go.
Nah, you keep it, Sonny. I've been dry for years.
Wait a minute. You had me go around collecting ingredients to brew this illegal alcohol, and you don't even drink?
It was a test, son. A test. I needed to see if you were the real deal. If you're gonna go out looking for the galleon, you gotta be sharp, boy.
Okay, so tell me what you know about it.
Well, the basic legend goes something like this. Back during the time of the Spanish conquistadors,
Story
this
time.
big old galleon, packed to the brim of gold and silver, got tricked into sailing into the salty sea.
Just wanted to see who was here.
But before they knew it, a mysterious wind came and blew up the sands. So their path out of the sea was blocked. So the Spaniards decided to take as much loot with them as they could and leave the galleon where it was. Of course, wearing all that heavy metal shiny armor weren't good for them out in this desert. They all died.
So where is the galleon now?
Well, I'd imagine it's near the Salton Sea. But have you ever been there, son? It's huge.
I gathered that. Do you have any clue where George might have gone?
He didn't tell me, but all he gave me was this here thingamabob.
This looks like a tracker.
Oh, what now?
You know, a device for tracking things, as in finding where they are.
No, I don't know nothing about these modern gizmos and doodads.
I bet I could use this to find George.
If you say so, Sonny.
Now I just need to figure out how to get out there.
Well, I got a car if you want to use that.
That would be great, thanks.
Here's the keys. Oh, be careful with her, would you? The gears tend to stick a bit.
I'll treat it like it was my own. Alright, I'm off to find George.
Good luck, Sonny.
So now that we've gotten this guy to give us his car, let's go out to the desert. Oh boy, more music. So now we're in Bombay Beach. Biking, I'll see you at Ambush's stream. Uh-oh. Oh, never mind. False alarm. I wonder if I can finish this game before it's time for that stream. I certainly hope so. Well, this car... There's an abandoned car here. Doesn't look that old, but the trunk is closed. An old trailer that's been here for a long time. And some debris, so let's use our crowbar to try and open the trunk. Oh yeah. The tracker brought us here, and here is the beacon for the tracker. And a journal. George Roberts' journal. Let's see if we can have a look at it. To summon the galleon, pay attention to this poem rather. greed was a curse, but the ship, however, rises still. To those who would make offers of gold, silver, and platinum. So we need to make offers of gold, silver, and platinum to summon the galleon. Anyway, let's check out the desert. Looks like a lovely place. So let's go off to the distant trailer. See what we can find there. Oh. More music. A man playing a guitar. Let's find out who he is.
Nice day out.
Yeah, it's great out here. I always love going and looking around the area. It really inspires me.
So what else can you tell me?
Excuse me, sir.
How can I help you, son?
Who are you?
Hi, what's your name?
I'm Edgar Meadows.
Nice to meet you, Edgar. I'm Ben Jordan. Wait, Edgar Meadows. That name sounds vaguely familiar.
Funny. I didn't have you pegged for a fan of country and western.
Oh, right. I think my brother Pete had one of your records. He always used to put it on when he wanted to drive me, when he wanted to liven up the house. So, what's a famous country and western singer doing out here?
This place inspires me. I'm trying to write a new song, and the solitude of Bombay Beach helps me think. In fact, I wrote my biggest hit out here.
That's okay, Zero. So what about this hit song of yours?
You'll have to excuse my ignorance regarding country music, but what exactly was your biggest hit?
Oh, that was She Left Me With a Baby. Here, I'll play you a bit.
No, that's okay.
She left me with a baby in the oven.
Well, that was great.
That was great.
Somebody else
Indeed.
must have thought so too, because that song got me a platinum record.
And a platinum record. Are you seeing the subtle suggestion here?
You've got a platinum record, huh?
Yep, I keep it in my trailer. Of course, I'm trying to write a new song so I can get another one. Only problem is, I seem to be having a bit of writer's block.
Writer's block, huh? What about this song?
Can I help with your song?
Well, I don't know.
Come on, I've written stuff before. It's easy.
Oh hell, why not? Here, the part I'm having the most trouble with is the chorus. I've managed to write most of it, but I'm having trouble coming up with some good metaphors. See if you've got better luck coming up with anything.
Oh boy. So now we got a song that we can help him finish. What do you got to say about the Salton Sea?
What do you know about the Salton Sea?
Aside from the fact that it's a polluted, toxic dump, well, it brings the value of the land around it down, so living here is pretty cheap. Plus, I like the solitude. Helps me think, for the most part.
And what about the Lost Galleon?
Have you ever heard of the Lost Galleon?
Is that the ship that's supposedly buried around here somewhere and full of treasure?
That's the one, yeah.
Nah, I'm not too familiar with it. Only reason it rings a bell is because some guy was going around asking about it a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, I know. I'm here trying to find him.
Well, that's all I know. Sorry I can't be more help.
See you later.
See ya.
So yeah, apparently this guy met George as well. But that's all we can do with him for now. So let's return to the overview view. If we can. There we go. Apparently there's some debris here in the valley. See if we can't examine it. Can we interact with it? No, we don't want to mess with that. So let's see. There seems to be a motel here on the right. So let's see what we can find in here. Looks like it's abandoned. For a very long time, everything's boarded up. And a swimming pool filled with sand instead of water. But the front door seems to be open, so let's get inside. Well, this is an odd picture. A cabinet, we don't know what's inside because the glass is opaque. It's got a large drawer at the bottom. terrible tacky painting. We can't examine this. Oh wait, yes we can. We can only examine the flowers. They look lively, but they're plastic, so there's that. A bell that's unused. A ledger. Can we interact with this ledger? The last person was a Walter Maddox on July 1967. I don't know if that's a reference to anything. But anyway, let's check out this drawer. And we managed to get a silverware set made from real silver. And those flowers might be useful, so of course we need to pick them up. Let's look at the picture on the wall. So, let me see. What was the name of the guy? Walter Maddox. Kentucky Motel Art. A doorway, but we have no interest in going back there. So let's go back out of here. There's one more point of interest that we have not explored. We will explore that now. It is this trailer on the left, with the woman sitting out front. Oh boy, Aqualad. Not infringing on any properties there. Only $5 to see Aqualad and an obese woman.
Whew, sure is hot today.
You're telling me?
Oh god.
I've probably sweated more than enough to fill the salted sea twice over.
That's a pleasant image.
Yeah. Thanks for the information.
So let's see what she can tell us.
Excuse me, miss.
What can I do you for?
So, what is it you do out here, miss?
Aw, shoot, kid. There ain't no need to be so formal. Call me Mama. Everyone else around here does.
Okay, Mama. What made you decide to move to Bombay Beach?
Well, my family's been living in this area for years now. I guess I'm just keeping with tradition by sticking around.
Yeah, it's not exactly like you can move around with ease.
What was that?
Nothing.
So what about this Aqualad?
What's this Aqualad business all about?
Well, for only $5, you can see the 9th wonder of the world, Aqualad.
What's the 8th one?
You interested?
Depends. It's not going to be a monkey torso sewn onto a fishtail, is it?
No, not at all. Aqualad is the real deal. I'll tell you what, since you're such a cutie, I'll refund your money if you ain't satisfied.
Oh god.
Sounds good enough to me. Here you go.
Thank you very much. You may enter the trailer now.
So we can keep talking to her, but I think we'll enter the trailer.
Y'all take care of yourself now, you hear?
So into the trailer we go.
Hey,
Uh-oh.
welcome to the trailer.
Oh man.
You're Aqualad?
Yep, not what you were expecting, huh? I keep telling Mama to redesign the posters, but she doesn't listen. Anyway, you paid the $5. Feel free to stare at me to your heart's content.
Thanks.
So Aqualad, huh? What about these trophies back here? And this gold trophy. What does this guy have to say?
Mind if I ask you a few questions?
Nah, go ahead. I've heard them all before.
What's the deal with you, sir?
Your name's not really Aqualad, is it?
What? Oh no, that's just my stage name. My real name's Lucius Augustus Campbell III, but that didn't all fit on the poster.
So, how'd you get this gig?
Genetics, I guess. See? I've got webbed toes.
Don't you find the exploitation of your genetic mutation sort of degrading?
Gee, nobody's really asked me that before. I guess it is, kind of. Yeah. I mean, I've been doing this my entire life, so I don't really know anything else.
So what about your escape? We could get out of here.
Have you ever considered leaving this all behind?
You mean just getting up and leaving? Yeah, the thoughts crossed my mind, but there's a few problems. First off, where would I go? I mean, I guess I can figure that out, but I have no way of getting anywhere. And second, Mama wouldn't appreciate me leaving. Pretty much her only source of income.
But if she's got you trapped here, exploiting you for her own personal gain, that's even more reason to leave.
Maybe, but if I did escape, I can't just do it in front of her. I'd rather sneak away if possible.
I'll see if I can help you out.
Thanks. I appreciate it.
Okay, what about these trophies then?
You sure have a lot of trophies.
Yeah, those are all from sideshow competitions at different local fairs. That big gold one was from this year's state fair. I was up against the bearded lady for the grand prize. It was a tough competition, but in the end she tested positive for doping.
Doping?
Yeah, she'd been getting testosterone injections, so she was disqualified.
I had no idea the sideshow competitions were so intense.
You don't know the half of it.
That fighting spirit. So what about your mother?
Your mother is certainly a very interesting lady.
Yeah, she's a real character. She's also my mom, so be nice. I feel bad for her sometimes, especially since my dad took off. I can tell she's lonely, but she hasn't had much luck with guys. The dating pool around here isn't exactly big, if you'd noticed.
Yeah, it does seem a bit desolate.
Maybe someday she'll find the right guy. I don't know.
Thanks for your time.
Yeah, no problem.
Well, that was a very productive talk, I'm sure. But we can't help this guy escape just yet, because his mother is out here. So, let's see, what haven't we explored? Well, if we go left here... No, I said left, I didn't say back here. Ben, what are you doing? There we go. This is the path I was talking about. There's one more screen we can check out. There is the Salton Sea. More like a big lake, but there's a warning sign. The waters of the Salton Sea are highly polluted and pose a significant health risk. Any contact with the water is strongly discouraged, but not prohibited. There's a seesaw here and a slide. And some guy. He looks kind of depressed, but you would too if you had a mullet like that, apparently. So what's the deal with him?
Nice view.
Yeah, I guess.
Okay, not Patrick Swayze.
Excuse me.
Yeah, what is it?
With a giant chin.
Are you okay? You seem upset.
No, I'm not okay. I'm a complete failure.
Hey, come on now. What makes you say that?
I've been wanting to ask a woman on a date, but I haven't got the nerve. I'm such a loser.
So what about this woman?
What's keeping you from asking your lady friend out?
Confidence, mainly. Also, I don't have any gifts for her. I mean, if I had something to give her as a present, it'd be different. But if I just show up and ask her, now she'll probably turn me down.
How about if I help you find some stuff for your date?
Would you? Oh, man, that'd be great. Well, I don't think it needs to be too fancy. Maybe just two things. Two nice things. Things I could really impress a lady with.
Two things.
I'll see what I can do.
Well, luckily we...
See you later.
We are Ben Jordan, the ultimate matchmaker, so we do have these flowers, these plastic flowers.
Here, maybe these flowers will help you woo your lady.
Hey, these are great, thanks.
And we have these candies left over.
Here, maybe these will help with your date. Women love chocolate.
Yeah, these will be perfect. Thanks. Hey, I think I got what I need to ask my lady out. Thanks so much for your help, buddy.
Glad to be of service. Oh, and good luck.
Oh, man, I feel like the luckiest guy in the world right now. Watch out, Mama. Here comes the love train.
Wait, what?
Wait, did he say mama?
Yeah, I think he said mama. Let's see what's going on. see what's going on at the trailer.
Oh, Harold, you're so sweet. Of course I'll have dinner with you.
You will? Oh, Mama, that makes me so happy.
Oh, come here, you.
Oh my goodness. Those are strange arms. But anyway, the important part is that Mama's gone, so we can tell the guy to escape now. Hey dude, the coast is clear.
Mind if I ask you a few questions?
Nah, go ahead. I've heard them all before.
Thanks for your time.
Yeah,
Dude, your mother's gone.
Don't you get all pruny sitting in a tub all day?
yeah, but I'm used to it.
Oh, but he doesn't have any way of getting where he needs to be, that's right. But we do have the car keys. So let's see if he'll take those.
Here, Aqualad, take my car. You can use it to get out of here.
Really? You're just giving me your car?
At this point, I think you need it more than I do.
But what about Mama?
Don't worry about her. She's on a date. She should be busy for a while.
Wow, I can't believe this is actually happening. Finally, I can have an actual life. Thanks for all your help, mister. I'll never forget this.
So yeah. Now that we helped that guy escape, we can steal his golden trophy. Which is the sole reason we decided to do that. So now we have almost everything we need. Oh, there's one thing we haven't looked at actually. In our inventory we have this song. The song lyrics for Edgar's song that we're supposed to fill in. When I hear your voice, my thoughts debris. My thoughts slide and scatter like the skunk ape. My loss as long as an explosion and as deep as an empty pool. Well, it does say what the rhyme scheme should be, AB, AB, so... wonder if that's a nod to anyone that might be here. Oh boy. I wonder if we have what we need to complete this right now. Actually, wait a second. I think we're missing one more thing. Oh yeah. Well, we did give the car that wasn't even ours away to that mutant guy. So now if we go here, the desert road is empty. It stretches as far as the eye can see. So I think we can complete the song now. Yep. We have the road now. So the correct combination must involve the skunk ape surely. Oh, but not there. As deep as the skunk ape. Well, the skunk ape is pretty deep. But what rhymes with skunk ape? As long as... No, that's not right. As long as the lost galleon. My voice... My thought explosion? No. My thoughts debris. And scatter like an empty pool. Yeah, that looks good. But it doesn't match the rhyming scheme, that's too bad. So let's try starting over. When I hear your voice, my thoughts explode and scatter like debris. My love for you runs as long as the road and as deep as the Salton Sea. So apparently this song sounds like it could be a hit. So let's take these lyrics back to Edgar and see what he has to offer us in return. Off you go, Ben, to the distant trailer. So guess what I did? I finished your song.
Here you go, Mr. Meadows. Take a look and tell me what you think.
Hey, this ain't half bad. In fact, this is pretty damn impressive. This is sure to get me another platinum record. Thanks, kid. Wait here just a second.
What's this?
It's my other platinum record. I want you to have it as a token of my thanks. Plus, this way you're waiving all rights to any royalties from the song.
Okay. I
Okay.
guess that's fair.
So apparently we got a platinum record in exchange for completing the song. So now you might have noticed that the stuff we've been collecting is matches the clues on that strange poem on the diary. No, that's not it. The diary is this. Yeah, there we go. The ship, however, rises still to those who would make offers. Gold, silver, and platinum to fill the Spaniards' empty coffers. Gold, silver, and platinum. So we have this gold trophy, this silverware, and this platinum record, which I'm sure is made of real platinum. I'm sure these spirits won't be able to tell the difference. So let's step in here and throw all these things into the sea. Gold, silver, and platinum. This might not work, but then... Uh-oh, what's this? The old galleon has risen from the sea. So onto the deck we have climbed. There's an old sail here. Some stairs which are broken, so we can't really use them, I don't think. But let's take a bit of the sail. Now we have a bit of sail in our inventory. And there's this hatch which seems to lead below decks. So we'll try to open it. We shall, but it won't budge. Luckily we still have our crowbar, so let's try to use that to force it open. Success! The hatch has popped open, but the crowbar's also broken. So I think stuff's about to get spooky, so let's make a caution save. And descend into the decks.
George? George Roberts?
What? Oh, now I'm hallucinating someone else on this ship. Andy knows my name. I guess I'm finally going off the deep end.
You're not going crazy, George. My name is Ben Jordan. Your wife hired me to find you.
Oh, Annie. I should have never come out here. So what? You like a detective or something?
No. I'm a paranormal investigator.
Boy, you really knew how to pick.
Yep.
I guess that explains how you found me. Be careful, Ben. The ship is haunted. I can't understand what the ghost says, but I think it's the captain. He locked me up in here about a week ago, and I've been stuck ever since.
Well, ghost or no ghost, I'm getting you out of here.
I really appreciate the effort, Ben, but I'm not doing too great. I don't have the energy to stand up, let alone walk out of here.
Okay, I'll figure something out, but then we're getting out of here.
Okay, thanks.
Yep, he is wondering if Annie is okay. But before we help him, let's explore the ship, or try to. Oh, we will not. We don't want to go any further until we figure out a way to rescue him. But he doesn't have the energies to go on. So of course let's give him this coffee that we've been carrying with us the entire time.
Here, George, I have this latte. It probably isn't very fresh, but it's better than nothing.
Hey, thanks.
Yep.
That really hit the spot. I think I'm feeling good enough to walk now.
So he's good enough to walk now, suddenly. What else does he have to say? If we can get him in the cursor's way. Oh wait, he doesn't want to talk. We need to get him out. Well, luckily we do have this bottle full of moonshine and this piece of sail. Yep, this is sure is getting interesting. Now we have a Molotov cocktail, which we jam into the cell door, much like we did before. Oh wait, we don't. We just put it on top of the lock, because apparently that's big enough to do that, and light it with a match.
Whoa, whoa, hey, what are you doing?
I'm getting you out of here. What does it look like?
It looks like you're planning on lighting a Molotov cocktail.
Exactly. I'm going to use it to blow up the door.
Ben, have you noticed how small this cell is? I'm not gonna be able to avoid the explosion.
If you press yourself up in the far corner over there, you should be okay.
I really don't know about this.
Look, I know it seems nuts, but it's all I've got right now.
I guess it's better than nothing. Okay, go for it. Well, I got the door open, but now the ship is on fire.
Not
Okay,
all of it.
I have to say I didn't expect that.
Do something!
Okay, I'm trying to think.
The
Oh
ghost.
god. The spooks are here.
Barco. ¿Vosotros sabréis incendiar a mi barco?
Incendiar a mi barco? Oh god.
Ahora serán mis prisioneros para siempre.
Ahora seréis mis prisioneros para siempre. Yes.
That was odd. Ghost didn't do anything to us. I thought...
Nope. He just said that you'll be his prisoners forever.
Oh, great.
I love the way the ghost actually talks Spanish. So, now that we've freed this guy, we could talk to him, I think.
Sure is creepy in here.
You're telling me.
But let's work on escaping. If we go over here, we got this room with a treasure chest. Ooh, who knows what valuable treasures it contains? But it's empty. But we take it anyway, because we know we're going to need it. Remember the spirit box. No, he was talking about the boat, I think. He was saying... oh god. I think what he said was something like, are you trying to set my ship on fire? And now you'll be my prisoners forever. And I don't know why I did that weird sort of Sean Connery impression there, but I guess it fits the European spirit of the language. So let's check out these rooms. Oh, it's his skeleton. If a spook wasn't enough, now we got his spooky, scary skeleton as well. So let's defile his corpse. Get a few of the bones. An old map of the Salton Sea with rivers leading out of it, which I don't think exists anymore, and a roll-top desk from the... from the 1500s, but he doesn't want us to touch it. So we can't do anything in here quite yet, but we can check out the other room, I guess. Oh boy, do you see what I see? Treasure on the floor and piles of coins. Oh god, those crafty Spaniards, they certainly are hoarders. So let's try to take some of this treasure. God, that voice. Aléjese de mi tesoro. Yep. So now that we have the bones, though, there's a problem. We can't get any of this treasure. Maybe we can get him to distract the ghost. Much like we did last time.
Yeah?
Hey, George, I have an idea. Have you noticed how the ghost is really protective of his treasure and his desk?
Yeah?
Well, he can't be in two places at once, so I need you to go and mess around with his desk. That way, I'll be able to grab some of the treasure while he's distracted.
Yeah, okay. That might work.
Yep. So now that George is going to distract him with the desk, let's get some coins. Yep, now we have a few gold coins in our inventory. Spanish gold. So let's use this on the treasure chest, I think. And now we have a spirit box to trap the ghost in, which was explained in this book that we got at the very beginning of the game. But it still leaves the issue of how to lure the ghost near the box. Or maybe not, because he does appear every time we try to take some of the treasure. Oh, here comes George again.
Well, that was unpleasant. I hope it was worth it for you.
Yep, it might have been, because if we try to take some treasure again... He's trapped.
Hey, you captured the ghost.
Yep. Now, if the old Hopi legend is true, the spirit has to grant our deepest desire.
What, like a genie?
I think it'll probably have to be something within reason.
So, how do we get the ghost to help us if we can't communicate with it?
Well, let's see. Levanta la caravella.
Levanta la caravella. That would work.
Hey, what do you know? I remembered something from high school Spanish after all.
Right, let's get out of here.
So why would you remember that very specific phrase, Ben? High school
George!
Spanish.
Don't you ever go off like that again!
Not to worry, Annie. I think I've done enough treasure hunting for one lifetime.
Well, I guess my work here is done.
Thanks so much for rescuing me, Ben. Will you be sticking around, Dunesburg?
My flight's tomorrow morning, so I'll probably be hanging around until then.
You're more than welcome to join us for dinner tonight, Ben.
Thanks. I'll definitely take you up on that.
And I'll buy you a drink or two in the meantime. Let's head over to the Drunken Scorpion.
Yay, we beat the game.
Hell of a story, George. I'm glad you've gotten that whole lost galleon business out of your system, though.
Yeah, me too.
Hey, Jed, wake up. Look who's here.
Well, I'll be. You're bad.
Yep, and I've got Ben Jordan here to thank for it.
Ben Jordan, our hero.
Well, Annie's probably done making dinner, so we should probably head back.
Okay, sounds good. Bye, guys. It was nice meeting you all.
You take care, Ben. You're welcome in here anytime if you ever decide to come back.
Yep. But wait.
So where are my car keys, kid?
Crap.
Yep, we gave your car away to a mutant boy. I hope you're not mad at us. And on that wacky comedic note, we end our game with all the people involved in this. I don't think this one had a post-credits scene, but we'll see. Yep, there's her crabbiness. And the creator voiced the medicine man and the singer. Peter Gresser, that sounds familiar. Oh, Peter Gresser made the music for these games actually, I think. So apparently Chris Jones wasn't involved in this, even though he usually is. I think in these games and the Blackwell series, which is another series I mean to run sometime. But for now... Uh-oh.
Oh dear, it looks as though he's already begun. I wasn't expecting this so soon. I suppose it's time to finally meet young Mr. Jordan.
So who is this mysterious British figure? And what does he have to do with the main story? Well, we will find out later.